So thank you everybody for being here. How this is taking place or happening is interesting to me anyway. First of all, one of the most common questions that I've had since I started doing readings or whatever is somebody asking what their life purpose is. So this is part of the reason to put it out there, because personally, first of all, I don't feel like someone should be telling you exactly what it is you're supposed to be doing. Each one of us already knows. We just have kind of forgotten a little bit. We need to be reminded. The other reason I'm doing this is because I kind of had revelations in the last few months that helped me to get really, really clear on my purpose. And when I found out all that and, discovered what I discovered, I'm like, well, first of all, by sharing this with you, I'm doing my purpose. It's like a circle. It's hard to explain. I'm going to get into that more soon. So anybody who doesn't know me or is not from like this area or New Jersey, I think I know almost everyone here. There's some that I don't. I am Faye Weber, and I have been into spirituality, metaphysics since 1997. And by the way, I'm still getting over a cold, so my voice might sound a little weird. Since 1997, I've, been through so much, different topics and subjects and stuff that regards to spirituality, metaphysical stuff. And then I would say about 5 years ago is when certain events happened, and I kind of was pushed into turning it into my life purpose, or letting that stuff help me to find my life purpose. So in the last 5 years, my business or my practice or whatever has completely evolved a lot since I first started. And it's taken the biggest evolution in the last couple months. And that's where this workshop comes into place. I learned so much that I think I might have been told before, but it just didn't click right. But I just learned so much in the last few months that I really, really need to share it with other people. Before we get into this part here, another thing is I used to be really, 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 really shy. I used to be really, 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 really shy. I would talk to my friends and stuff like that, but generally, I was extremely shy. I think I got on stage for like a play in like 3rd grade. Maybe something else, but generally, I'm kind of a shy person. Karaoke, I can do karaoke, and I don't care who's there. That's a different story. But when it actually comes to talking and stuff, I used to be extremely shy. A lot of that I got over in the last 5 years from working with people all the time, from working with clients and students and everything. So this is kind of a big deal for me to be online, on video, and with other people who may not be in this area. So that's an achievement for me, and also a step into serving my life purpose. So that's another thing about me. And the last thing I want to say before I get into what a light worker is if I don't say it again, when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you can really, really feel it in your heart. Because that's what I'm feeling it right now. And this is the feeling you should have in every single thing that you do. Or you shouldn't do it. You'll just be miserable. Seriously. This is the feeling that we need to have. So signs you might be a light worker. I am going to be pretty sure that everyone here probably already knows that they are, or thinks that they are, or assumes that they are. There's a lot of different ways that, you know, can make somebody a light worker. I don't know who made up the word light worker, honestly. I don't know where the word comes from. I just know I've been seeing it since 1997, and every time I saw it, I would be like, I don't even know what it means, but I know that that's what I am. So before I even had a definition, I was just always drawn to the word. And there's probably a lot of other people that feel the same way. So these are some of the things, or some of the signs of being a light worker, or someone who's supposed to be doing light work. So one thing is knowing there's more to life than the physical world. So most of us know that there's a deeper level or deeper meaning to life, aside from just, you know, you get up in the morning, you go to work, you come home, you make dinner, you watch TV, you go to bed. A lot of people actually live that way, but light workers usually know there's a lot more to that. Light workers also have a desire to help uplift and heal others. So it doesn't mean every single one wants to be an energy healer. There's a lot of different ways to heal or uplift people. It could be as a speaker, it could be a coach, whatever. So just in general, you have a desire to help uplift and heal others. Another sign is being an empath, or being more sensitive than most other people. So a lot of light workers are empaths, or sensitive, whatever you want to call it. And it's maybe, you know, different experiences have a deeper impact on us, or we pick up on other people's emotions, or we're, you know, really delicate. We can barely watch TV. I'm the kind of person that's really delicate, and I can't even watch television. Commercials, I cry on commercials. It's like and then when I realize what I'm doing, I want to seriously smack myself. But I'm really that sensitive that the slightest thing I will get really emotional about. A feeling of being alone throughout childhood and even into adulthood, or feeling like you don't belong. So that I've always felt like that. I want to right now, if you want to, I'm going to unmute people. I don't want us to go into all of our personal stories, but it'll be interesting to hear how many people relate to these things before I continue.
You are now unmuted.
All right, so now I can hear everyone. So you can jump in if you want and just, you know, say you feel that too. So what about so far? Does everyone so far kind of feel a lot of those first four things? Or have felt? You can answer in the chat room too. Or nobody feels those things? Is anyone there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I feel that way.
Okay. All right. So the feeling of being alone throughout childhood and even adulthood, feeling like you don't belong. I definitely struggled with that, even though I had friends. You know, it's never like I never had any friends. I just always felt like I didn't, you know, I was completely different than everybody else. I always felt like I was, sometimes even now when I'm with other people who are into spirituality and stuff, sometimes I still feel like I don't belong. Feeling like you came here with an important mission. That I've always felt. I never really knew what it was when I was younger, but I always knew it was something important. Feeling drawn to the spiritual, metaphysical, cosmic, and esoteric realms. Having had psychic, spiritual, or paranormal experiences throughout life. It doesn't have to be like, you know, 1,000 of them. For some people, it's just a couple. Having a desire for world peace and disdain for violence and hatred. So most light workers are not very interested in violent, you know, things that involve violence or things that are, you know, hate-based. They usually are not really keen on war. It doesn't mean every single light worker has to be all these things. These are just a lot of the common traits. Being drawn to crystals, alternative healing, angels, ascended masters, and all that stuff. So that's another sign. I remember the first time I was drawn to a crystal, I think I was maybe 4 years old. But you know what? I'm going to actually mute these again because everyone's got weird noises. Hold on.
You muted yourself. I can't hear you.
Oops. Oopsies. Mute all users except me. There we go. All right. Thank you. So anyway, the being drawn to crystals I had since I was like 3 or 4 years old. My mom used to have a really small amethyst crystal. I forget what these are called right now. But you know how it's the typical like crystal pendant. And she used to have one of those. She wasn't even into this stuff, but she always had one laying around on her dresser. And I remember I'd always pick it up and I'd be like just staring at it, like fascinated. I'd be like, Mom, what's this? And she'd be like, oh, that's amethyst. It's a stone. I'm like, okay. And I think I used to ask her a million times, Mom, what's this? Feeling a connection with ancient civilizations such as Egypt, Atlantis, Lemuria, Native Americans, or any of those similar types of groups of people. I used to be completely fascinated with Egypt. That was one of the first things I got into when I got into this stuff in '97. I've always felt drawn to Atlantis and Lemuria and Native Americans. So I fall under all those. Feeling a connection with our galactic brothers and sisters. So not all, but a lot of light workers have always kind of felt like there's probably life on other planets. Having a feeling we are in a very important time in the spiritual evolution of humanity and the planet. Feeling like you've been here before doing something similar in a past life. A lot of people who are drawn to spirituality, metaphysics, being a practitioner, light worker, whatever, a lot of us have done it before. And it's like we're remembering, the last time we did it and we want to do it again. So a lot of times when we take classes, and even this itself, when we take classes and we think we're learning from other people, a lot of times we're actually just being reminded. A lot of it we already know. I know there's a lot of times where like I'll have thought of something or thought I've figured something out, and then I'll go take the class and find out, oh my God, this is what everybody's teaching already. So a lot of times it's really just being reminded. We already know all this stuff. All this stuff is real. It's the truth. It's universal. So a lot of times we can trust what we're getting. So we're really just reminding each other. So this workshop is actually a reminder. And I'm not a teacher, I'm a reminder. It doesn't really look right, to put that on things, use your reminder, Faye Weber. No. So we say teacher, but we're really just reminding each other. So is anybody, I'm going to unmute. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. If anybody wants to comment on the stuff that we covered so far, signs of being a light worker, if you want to share anything, and you just feel like really sharing, we're all here, we're supporting each other, then do the little raise your hand. Somehow there's a way to raise your hand over there. And then I'll unmute you if you want to say anything. Or if you all want to be quiet, you don't have to say anything. Okay. All right, never mind then. So this list is a combination of the things that I knew that the reasons why I knew I was a light worker, what I know and feel a light worker is, and, from just reading around and what other people think a light worker is. So this is kind of like a bringing it all together. I can personally relate to every single thing here. You might relate to half of them. You might relate to all of them. You might relate to 4 or 5 of them. But just by being here, you belong here. So you are, I'm going to say, most likely a light worker. So my story, I don't want to take too much time up with this, but I already talked a little bit about my background in the introduction. So I want to go through this fast, and this is going to help explain to you kind of what happened and why I'm doing this workshop. So as I said, I was into spirituality since '97. I was like total new ager, and I was like the 2012 person, and I was looking forward to 2012 all those years. 2012 came and went. I do feel like there's definitely been a shift, but it was definitely not the vision that I had hoped for. I definitely feel like there's a shift though. So since 2012, the interesting is that in 2012 is when I started spiraling into doing this and really getting serious about my spirituality and applying it to my life and making it, or aligning it with my life purpose, or whatever however you want to call it. So my story as to how this came about, I'm going to say it quickly as possible. I started out 5 years ago getting serious about becoming a spiritual practitioner. And I started all my classes, I started my business, I started out doing psychic readings. I went all over the place. I started out, I learned how to do psychic readings, mediumship, Reiki. I got attuned to like 20 other different kinds of Reiki. What else? I learned angel therapy. I learned hypnosis. I learned, and this is over the course of the 5 years, I learned past life regression. I learned, what other stuff did I take? I know there's a lot more that I'm not thinking. Oh, I learned the angel card readings, became a certified angel card reader. What's the other thing? The realm reader. I did the realm reader during Virtue. So basically, over the course of the 5 years, more so in the first 3 years, I took like every class I could possibly find. I wanted to do it all. I figured if I learn this, everybody wants an angel card reading. Everyone's doing angel card readings. Oh, let me go learn to be an angel card reader. So that way I'll get business. Let me go learn to do this to make sure that they come to me. Let me go do this because that's what those people want. So I had the wrong idea. Like I was trying to, I knew that I was supposed to be a spiritual practitioner, but I was trying to offer services that I thought everybody else wanted. I wasn't offering what I want to do. And that understanding did not come until the last couple months. So I'm grateful that I took all those classes. I did learn a lot, which helps me able to be a reminder for other people. But a lot of it, I probably could have done without. I did spend a lot of money on a lot of those different classes. And that's probably not even half of them. But my mentality was not correct. And I just want to make sure that other people go into it with the right mentality. Now, there's nothing wrong with learning a lot. There's nothing wrong with taking a lot of classes. But just make sure that when you're doing it, it's because this is something I want to do. Not because you think it's what everybody else is looking for. And I know that I'm not the only person who does this. I mean, or used to do it. I'm not doing it now. I know I'm not. I know a lot of people who get into this work get trapped in that. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more later. Don't want to get stuck in that part of it. So I had learned, taking all these different classes. Throughout the years, I've tried to offer some of the things I learned here and there. And what I found was there's certain things that really stuck, and there's other things that I was just not meant to do. It's really an evolution. So, sometimes you don't always know, and you have to kind of experiment with stuff. And I do kind of encourage that, but I just want you to keep in mind that when you're going out looking for classes and teachers or whatever it is that you want to do, that you're really looking to do what you want to do, what you're meant to do, and what your purpose is to do. So fast forward a little bit, that was a couple years ago. The last few months, I'm going to tell you what changed my life completely, and I'm not selling you anything. I promise you. I'm just telling you that it changed my life. My promise was for this thing, I have nothing to sell from this workshop. But I will tell you what changed my life, and it's the Akashic Records. Completely changed my life. Completely changed my business. Completely changed my business. It's actually the whole reason that I'm doing this workshop right now. So what happened was I had found the Akashic Records, which I had been searching for years and didn't know it. I used to do psychic readings, and there came a point where I realized that psychic readings were not deep enough for me. I didn't feel right doing them anymore, just because I didn't feel like I was helping people on a deep enough level. And I kept trying to reword it on my website, change the name, trying to make it deeper. But people would still come in and kind of squeeze a psychic reading out of me. So I'm like, all right, guys, I need to know what I'm supposed to be doing here, because this isn't right. And then I think it was like the next day, I don't know what happened. Somehow I stumbled on the Akashic Records. So I looked into them, I read about them, and I realized, my God, this is actually what I should be doing. This is exactly what I've been trying to say that I do. And it's like, there's an actual process. So now I actually know what I'm doing and everything. So in the process of learning the Akashic Records, I had to do a lot of readings for myself. And through that, I learned a lot about things that affect my business as a spiritual practitioner and things that affect my life purpose as a light worker. I realized, I discovered past lives that were affecting me. And I don't even think I did anything to heal them. It was like just by knowing them, everything shifted. There were a few past lives that I had that were affecting my business. And I had asked very clearly, what is my life purpose? And I heard the answer very clearly, which I actually had always thought it was, but I was trying to satisfy more people. I'm going to get into that a little bit more soon. So I also discovered my life purpose, my actual life purpose, and it also helped me. It also helped me because one of the things I had asked was, what are some things that I can do to benefit my spiritual work or my spiritual practice? And the one thing was, express yourself more, communicate more, put yourself out there more, communicate with others and connect with others, which all these things that happened from these readings is why this is happening right now. So that's kind of where things came into today. So through all the things that I learned from the Akashic Records and from, just from those little things and getting in true alignment with my purpose, I now know that I am, my life purpose is to help people with their soul. Learn on the soul level, heal on the soul level, read on the soul level, not on the, everyday, should I take the job? Does my boyfriend hate me? Blah, 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 blah. Not that those are invalid questions. They're just not the kind of questions I like to answer anymore. So I need to be in alignment. So I have my Akashic Record readings. I have my mediumship still and my shamanic healing. My Reiki has converted into shamanic healing and is now part of my shamanic healing. That's another thing that's changed me as well as becoming a shamanic practitioner, is I knew there's always been something missing from my healing work, and it was that. So anyway, fast forward to today, I am completely clear on my life purpose now. There may be other things down the road that might get tweaked or whatever, but I know for sure what my life purpose is today. My life purpose now is, I know who I serve and I know what I do. So I help spiritual seekers and I help light workers. So I used to think I help everybody because I have a big heart and I want to help everyone. But over the years, I realized I don't resonate with everyone, and not everyone is as deep as me. And when they walk in my office and I'm talking about all this deep past life, this and that, and there's a deeper reason, blah, 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 they probably want to walk out and leave. I haven't really encountered that, but it's possible there have been people who've been wanting to do that. So I need to be working with people who are on a similar level. I can't really work with somebody who's just coming off the street and they want a Reiki session. No offense, I love them, but I can. I mean, if they come to me, that's great. But my intention of who I know I'm supposed to serve and who I should be drawing is dealing with people who are spiritual seekers or light workers. So they really should be on some kind of spiritual path in the spirituality, metaphysical, whatever it is, whether they're pagan, I don't know, but some kind of alternative, holistic. I know I'm supposed to serve those people, whether it's through my services or through teaching. One mistake I was making was I was trying to serve everyone, and we're not always meant to serve everyone. So that's going to be one of the things we're going to learn in a minute, is who exactly are you meant to serve? All right, so the 8 keys to discovery and alignment, which is where we'll find that out. At this point, you might want to get a notebook and pen. So I'll wait a minute if you want to get a notebook and pen ready, or a pen and paper, pencil, whatever you have. Or if you're going to type it on your laptop or somewhere. Some of these answers you're going to want to write down. So the first key And this can probably apply to just about everyone. Just about everyone. I don't know. I'm not swearing or signing a contract that every single person, this answer will help them. But I do think for most people, it will help. So the first key, what did you want to be when you were younger? And there can be more than one thing. You can think back to early childhood, later childhood, teenage years, and adulthood, because sometimes it switches. So you might have thought when you were 5, you wanted to be this. When I was 7, I wanted to be that. But then when I turned 18, I wanted to do that. Each one of those things tie in a lot of times with your life purpose, because we know what we're supposed to be doing. We know when we come into this life, into this body, what our mission is. But as we enter into the physical body, we have the amnesia because we have to experience the human experience, and we kind of forget. It's like we know in the back of our minds, our subconscious knows, and then we kind of end up on a path to trying to remember it again. This is why when we're younger, a lot of times it adds up to what we're supposed to be doing. I'm just going to give you examples for myself, and also be thinking about yours, and you can write them down. So for me, the first thing I wanted to be when I was younger, I wanted to be a teacher. Back then, I was really good at grammar and English, so I thought I'd be an English teacher. So I always wanted to be an English teacher when I was much younger. Of course, I had no idea that I was going to be a new age, spiritual, whatever. So I never thought that it would be this, but I'm a teacher. So it fed into it was part of my life purpose. I knew I was supposed to be teaching. Another thing I had wanted to be when I was closer in my teens, around 14, 15, I got really into psychology, and I became very compassionate and understanding of other people, and like even people who are considered bad. And I wanted to be a psychologist because I wanted to help other people with their problems. Well, still at that time, I was a couple years shy of getting into spirituality. So I still didn't realize that it would be involved in this. So I used to want to be a psychologist. Look at what I do now with the healing and the readings and the teaching. I help other people, and I help uplift them and make them feel better and become more healthy on all the different levels. And then when I was 17, when I was around 18, when I had just gotten into spirituality, I was obsessed with this outer space and the universe and the planets and all that. So then I wanted to be an astronaut because I wanted to go out and travel and visit the other planets and the stars and all that, because I was totally cosmic, astral kind of person. And now, through learning how to do, learning shamanism, that's exactly what I do. I'm an astronaut. So when you do a shamanic journey, you're journeying out through the universe and going through all the different dimensions and realms. So I knew what I was supposed to be doing. I just didn't understand it quite yet. So when you think about all these different things, anything that you wanted to be when you were younger, you can write them down for now and think about them later, because they're probably going to tie into what you're supposed to be doing. Second thing, what do you love doing that brings you joy? So this is really what brings you joy. Remember I said in the beginning that I have this feeling in my heart when I'm sitting here doing this. When I'm teaching my classes, I have that feeling in my heart. I just love it. I have it when I'm doing my healing sessions, mediumship, my readings. There's certain things that I would try to do, I didn't really feel. There's certain things I'm learning that I'm not supposed to be doing that I thought I was supposed to be doing. Because if I don't feel that thing in my heart, I'm not supposed to be doing it. So what do you love that brings you joy? Very, very, very important. What are your gifts and talents? But these need to be gifts and talents that you actually like doing. Some of us are good at things that we can't be bothered doing. Just because you're good at something doesn't mean you want to do it forever. I'm good at working in an office. I'm good at typing. I don't want to do those things, for my life purpose. But they're talents I have. Fortunately, a lot of my gifts and talents contribute to my business, because I do need to know how to use a computer. I do need to know how to, do accounting. So even if they're things you don't enjoy doing, just write them all down. All your gifts and talents that you think or feel that you have, or that other people have told you have. I'm going to just leave a few minutes for anyone that's writing it down. Just wait a minute after each of these. You also get a copy of this too. So if you find I went too fast and you think of other things later, you can always look back at this and write down more stuff. All right, number 4, forget what others think you should be doing. Family and friends. This is a problem a lot of us run into. It's a lot more common and popular than it used to be. This type of stuff, metaphysical, spiritual, new age, whatever you want to call it, holistic. It used to be a lot less acceptable, but it's becoming slightly more kind of mainstream now. Especially yoga, like the whole yoga community has kind of like opened the door, even though they're not totally related, but it seems that the yoga thing has kind of opened it up a little bit. But so anyway, forget what others think you should be doing. A lot of us are not raised in families who are into, they're not all psychics and healers and crystals and angels and whatever it is. A lot of people are raised in either extremely religious families or in extremely skeptical atheist type families. So we need to get their thoughts out of our head. As far as I know, I think we're all adults here. So anything that our family members say, our parents say, it really has no place in our lives anymore. And it's something we really need to let go. Ask your spirit guides or Archangel Michael to help you align with your purpose. This is not right now, but something to do later. I had asked I had just gotten into the archangels back then, and I had asked Archangel Michael to help me discover my life purpose. And the very next day, I didn't know what my hands were doing, but my fingers, I wasn't doing it. I swear I was not doing it. My fingers typed in Google holistic healing schools, or something metaphysical, holistic healing school or something, and that's where it all started. So that's when all my first classes started, and it just went from there. Ask them to guide you to the perfect classes, books, teachers, topics, modalities, etc. So it's not just all about taking a class. There's also a lot of books out there. There's tons of books. Work with several teachers. I took so far I've had 3 main teachers. My first main teacher was she lived in New Jersey, but it was, she mailed me the material and we would email back and forth to communicate. I did learn a lot with her, but it was my second teacher that really, I think, gave me the most so far. My second teacher I trained with in person for a couple classes. They both don't teach exactly the same. They don't teach exactly the same ways. And now my third teacher, who I'm considering my third main teacher, is my my shamanic apprenticeship teacher. And she's, I think, going to be the second, my top two. She's going to be tied probably with my number one, I guess, teacher that had the most effect on me. But learning different things with different teachers is very helpful and valuable because you learn, your eyes open to different topics, different subjects. This whole thing is a journey. It really is. There's no straightforward path. This is what I'm doing. Boom. It's very rare that happens for somebody. The next step, be clear with wait, hold on a second. I skipped one. Ask yourself and your guides. This is very important. Very, very, very important. Number 6, extremely important. Ask yourself and your guides how and who you want to and are meant to serve. So how is, whether it's through healing, through teaching, doing readings, whether it's through writing, if you want to be an author, whether it's through music, whatever it is. So how are you meant to serve? And it can be more than one. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be one. It can be more than one of these. And, things that are not on this list. So how and who are you meant to serve? I used to think that I was meant to serve everyone. Anybody that needs a reading, come to me. Anybody that needs healing, come to me. I used to really want to be open to everyone because I'm a caring, compassionate person. And also I didn't want to limit myself, in a business way or whatever. I don't want to limit myself to, working with only people who are spiritual. So I used to always, try to be open to anybody who wanted to come in. But in the work that I did with the Akashic Records and just the realizations that I had recently, I know that I'm not supposed to serve everyone. If they want to come to me, I'm not going to turn them away. That's not what I mean. So it's not like someone who's not all into this stuff needs a Reiki session or they want shamanic healing. Absolutely, they're completely welcome. I want to work with them. But I know that my main people, my main audience, or whatever you want to call them, my main connection is with people who are either a spiritual seeker into spirituality, or they're kind of someone who thinks they're meant to be a spiritual practitioner. So whether it's through healing, reading, or teaching, I need to be working with people who are into this stuff. Unfortunately, I just do. I was in denial about it, but I know I need to face it. The next thing is very important. Be clear with what you want to be doing, not what you think your potential clients or audience want from you, or what you think will get you business, because you're not going to be happy. This is what I was saying I think that I was doing before. And I'm just being completely honest. I was doing the psychic readings. I am psychic, therefore I should be doing psychic readings. That's the way that I thought. Most people think that. A lot of us should be. And I should have been for the time that I was. I was meant to do that for the period of time that I was doing it. But I also knew it was going to go into something deeper. I was always afraid if I get rid of the psychic readings, I'm going to lose a lot of business because everybody wants a psychic reading. And actually, it's kind of true. A lot of people that are on there Googling this and that are probably looking for a psychic reading. But I had to get honest with myself and honest with the people that I'm serving. Because if I keep putting out there, I'm doing a psychic reading, and they come in, and I'm doing a good job, and it's great, but my heart isn't in it, I'm not being genuine, and I'm not being true to my purpose. So I had to ask the psychic reading. Not that I don't do readings anymore, because I do Akashic Records readings, which still require my psychic ability. It's just, instead of the shallower questions and tapping into the energy of the person, I'm doing much deeper questions, and I'm tapping into basically the energy of their soul. Another example, be clear with what you want to be doing, not what you think your potential clients or audience want you to be doing. So just because you think everyone's looking for angel card readings does not mean you need to do angel card readings. That's another thing. I used to try to do angel card readings because I thought that's what everybody wanted. And then I drew it back because I realized this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. Angel therapy. Everybody else was learning angel therapy. Everybody, I thought everybody was looking for angel therapy, the Doreen Virtue thing. So I got certified by Doreen Virtue. I was offering angel therapy. I had sessions doing it. It's not that I didn't enjoy it, but I just knew this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. So it doesn't mean, you don't want to, you can still learn things if you want to learn them, but make sure you become aware when you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing. And then also, it's not what you think everybody else is doing or what you think everyone else wants you to do, or, I can't do anymore what I think my previous clients want me to do. They might still want me to do a reading. I can't do them anymore. I'm sorry. They might want me to do just straight up Reiki. At this point, I can't do Reiki without throwing shamanic healing in there. That's why I had to switch it and do shamanic healing and throw Reiki in there. Step 8, or key 8, know that it's a journey. It's not always a direct route. So our interests and abilities totally evolve as we grow and change. As much as I'm trying to tell you to not take every class you find and not try to do everything that everybody else is doing, it also is still a journey. So if you really, really feel drawn to a certain thing, you really feel like that's something you're supposed to be doing, go for it. It's part of what's going to help you, help create and build you into what you're supposed to be. I want to keep one thing in mind before I go any further. I understand that not every single person who's into spirituality and not every single person who feels like they're a light worker is completely, totally meant to do it as a business. I think everyone should. Personally, I think everyone should, because if you're living your life purpose and it brings you joy, why do you want to keep your miserable day job? Unless you enjoy what you're doing. There are some people who actually love their day job. And if you do, then, keep doing that. Some people love, being a nurse. Stay a nurse and do the other thing on the side. But I'm just saying, not every single person who considers themselves a light worker who wants to learn this stuff wants to do it for business. Some people like to work with their friends and family. So that comes in to ask, who are you meant to serve? So when you ask, who am I meant to serve? You might see or sense that it's, I'm really supposed to help my family. I'm really supposed to help my friends. I'm really supposed to help women, whatever it is. So, it might not always be a business for everybody. This specifically, though, honestly, it's going to come out mostly for people who are probably thinking about doing a business, because that's where I'm coming from. So know that it's a journey, not always a direct route. You will find different teachers. You will find different classes. I have New Age ADD. I don't know if anybody else has New Age ADD. Is everyone still here? Where did Dennis go? Dennis is still here. Somebody is missing that was here. Oh, Diana left. I think she keeps getting kicked out because she's there and then she's gone. All right. Okay. I was talking about New Age ADD. This is what I call it. I get into one topic, let's say sacred geometry. So I get into sacred geometry and the flower of life. I start reading the book. All right, I know this stuff. And then I jump to another subject. Sometimes I don't even finish the book. Then I want to read about this subject. Let's read about the Merkaba. Start reading about the Merkaba. All right, I know about that. Let me read to the next, and then I just all over the place. I know there's a lot of people that have that problem. So if you do, it's part of the journey. That's part of your gathering your knowledge and your information. It's all a journey. When it comes to getting to the point of really getting in line with your life purpose, that's a journey. It's not a final destiny. I'm setting out, this is what I'm going to do, and there I am. Your interests will change over time. Your beliefs might change over time as well. My beliefs have changed a bit. I used to be against reading somebody else's past life and for past life regression. Now that I discovered the Akashic Records, I prefer to read somebody else's past lives, and I'm completely bored to death with past life regression. So your actual beliefs might change as well. Your abilities might change. As you start to open up one ability, maybe you start working with the angels, and then by working with the angels, you get drawn to crystals, or maybe you're already working with crystals, and from working with the crystals, you're like, I need to learn how to do Reiki. Maybe you started doing Reiki, and you're like, you know what? I'm starting to see a lot of visuals in my sessions. Maybe I'm psychic. And then so a lot of it is a journey. So each thing opens up, it really is a process. Here's some tips to help you on your journey. So we can serve our purpose in different ways. And this is why we have so many different gifts and talents. And this is an example for me. So I know my life purpose is to serve spiritual seekers and light workers, which are, I guess you can say, they're pretty much the same thing. So my purpose is to serve and teach, or to, serve, heal and teach, basically. That's another thing, actually. My purpose is healing and teaching. So my life purpose, this is how you can break it down for yourself. My life purpose is healing and teaching. If I'm not healing or teaching, I don't really feel the joy. There is healing in mediumship. Yes, I still do mediumship. I still love it because there's healing. The person who's hearing from their loved ones feels a lot of healing, and so do the spirits. Mediumship is a form of healing. Akashic Records reading is a form of healing. Getting to know your soul, getting to know why things are the way they are. It's healing. All my classes are teaching, and hopefully there's some healing in there too. So I know my life purpose is to bring healing and teaching. Healing and teaching through what? My services, my classes, music, and writing. So there's several different ways you can serve your purpose. It doesn't have to be just one way. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. Your purpose does not have to become your profession. I kind of already talked about this. However, we are needed more than ever at this time on our planet, so I highly encourage everyone on this path to consider it. Here's one of my other tips. Seek real life experience and get serious. So this is more for the people that come from the Facebook groups, and they're, everyone's posting a picture. What do you see? I see a lot of that, and it's okay for developing your abilities. but you really should be with somebody in person and get real life training, and also try doing some real life in-person type readings, or, you know, even healing stuff. Really, to really feel confident, I feel like in-person experience, real life. It doesn't even not necessarily in person. It could be on the phone, or it could be distant healing. Real life experience is really the best way to build confidence in what you're doing. Online classes. So online classes, a lot of people skip the in-person stuff and only stick with, let me take this online class, it's only 20 bucks. Let me take that online class, it's only $30. And they can be very effective and beneficial. But it really, 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 really helps you to take at least something in person. Just a couple of them. You know, take 30 classes online, doesn't matter. But at least take a couple classes with somebody in person. It really, really helps build confidence. And, you know, you actually have the person, something about just having the energy of the person there. Even live video, do live video classes. Live video classes can be just as effective because the person is there. If you're choosing online classes, have it be a video class. For something about seeing the person teaching changes a lot. I've noticed when I do audio classes, I just don't retain as much. I don't feel as much of a connection. Those distant classes like I was taking where she would mail me the packages and we would, you know, go back and forth with email, connection is not really there. So when it comes to learning, I suggest if it's not in person, at least have a video, whether it's live or whether it's live or recorded. Just, you know, don't try to step out and do everything with just online learning. Try to get something in person. Doesn't matter what it is, something spiritual, do it in person. Also, being with the other students helps as well. There's something about being with the other students in person and connecting with the other people. You don't feel alone anymore, you know, because everyone feels so alone because their families don't believe in it. My husband doesn't believe in it. Being there in person with those students can really make a difference. You don't need a certification or attunement in every type of reading or healing modality. I am guilty of this. Like I said earlier, I have about 20 attunements and all different kinds of healing methods in Reiki that I learned online. I did my Yusui Reiki, my traditional Reiki I learned in person. But there was a period of time where I became addicted to attunements. And I went around all over the internet and took probably like at least 20 attunements to all these different healing methods. Out of all the ones that I learned, I think I might still use one of them. There's one or two that I really liked, but I would have to revisit. But really, it was just kind of a waste of time and money. So you don't need every certification, every attunement that exists. You don't need that to make you feel qualified. I mean, really, the few classes you have are enough to get yourself started. And also, I mean, certification can be important. You know, these days it's really important for some reason in the eyes of ourselves and the eyes of other people looking at us. People they want to see someone who's trained and certified in this, certified in that, certified angel card reader, certified Reiki practitioner, certified blah blah blah. When you think about it, we've been doing this work's been going on since like ancient days. Do you think they were actually printing out certifications back then? I don't think so. I don't think they were carving them into stone either. It was just something that people had more of a faith in. But for some reason these days, people really value a piece of paper called a certification. So while they are valuable and it's nice to have a couple, if you plan on being a business practitioner, you don't need to get every single one that exists. Stick with the things that you want to learn rather than what everyone else is doing or because it's popular. Don't get stuck or lose confidence. You're meant to do this. This is why you're taking this course right now. You signed up for your purpose before you were born. So you will be successful. There's no reason for you. It's not the way that it works. That's not the way the soul works. It's not the way the universe works. You signed up to do this. So when you came into this body, it was already set out for you. The plan's already there. You're just following the steps. So you will be successful at some point. Let's say we'll be successful now. But at some point, we are all successful. you will complete your mission. So in the end, you will end up doing what you were meant to do. You just have to trust and believe it. Most of us have probably done this in a past life. This is why a lot of stuff comes naturally to us. Our soul already knows what to do because it planned it and we've already done it. We just need to trust it, and also we need to remember. Don't be afraid to charge for your services. This gets a little more into the business side. I'm not getting too much into the business stuff or pricing or whatever, but I'm just saying, don't be afraid to charge for your services. A lot of people who are light workers have an issue with it, and they want to keep giving it for free and doing it for free on Facebook or doing it for free for their friends and blah, blah, blah. And it's all right kind of to practice, but you don't want to stay in that way. If you're not doing it as a business, go ahead and do it free or get an exchange. You know, if you give a reading, they give you Reiki, or if you give them Reiki, they bring you tomatoes, whatever. But if you are getting, into the mentality of you want to do this for a living, you got to get comfortable with charging for your services. Everyone, not everyone, but there's kind of like this stigma that spiritual people shouldn't charge for their gifts. Healers shouldn't charge money. Shamans shouldn't charge money. Blah, blah, blah. Psychics shouldn't. That's taking advantage of people. Blah, 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 blah. They're gifts. They're talents. Yes, they are. I guess you can say. We all have the ability to. Everybody has psychic and healing ability. Every single human, probably an animal actually on the planet. We all have the ability. Some of us just have a natural gift or talent for it. So same thing with math. There's a lot of people who have a natural talent at math. They have a natural talent at grammar. They have a natural talent at dancing, at music. So does this mean, because spiritual people, we shouldn't get paid for our work? Does that mean that a musician should never get paid for their music? Should they play all of their live shows for free? Should they, just give away all of their CDs? Keep their crappy day job 8 to 5 that they can't stand, they want to kill themselves? I don't think so. What about the scientists? They're always, talented at math, genius. Should they never get paid and be a scientist? So should they go work at McDonald's and I can't be a scientist because I can't get paid for that. It's a gift. So I don't know why that mentality is there. We have to come out of it. It really stems from back in the old ancient days that we were taken care of by our community. So the healers and the seers and the priests and whatever, everyone believed in it back then. So they would actually take care of us. They would give us our food. They would bring us water. They would let us stay at their house and all that. We don't have that today. We have to survive. If you plan on starting a spiritual business, I suggest keeping your day job while you build it. So while timing is different for everybody, some people have miracles and they have overnight success. It's not really the case. It's not usually the case. For most practitioners, it takes several years. The most common when people start really seeing it, go, or the sustainability of it is 4 to 5 years. For some people it's less, for some people it's more. What you can do though, what I do suggest is after maybe a year or two, if you feel like it's becoming something that you can sustain part-time from, then you can maybe switch your job to a part-time job. It all depends. Everyone's situation is different. Stay-at-home mom, they might not be able to really do it full-time at all. So they have to do it part-time in general. But they'll actually be the luckier one because they can focus more on their business than their day job. Well, they got the kids, but they won't have to be running back and forth to the job every day. Some people, you might be happy with your day job. You might have another business that you still love doing. So you can have 2 businesses. So keep the one business, start the other business, and start focusing a little bit of your time on the other one. You might find that you find more joy in being a practitioner. You might end up leaving the one behind entirely and doing your spiritual work full time. So anyway, I'm just saying it's not a good idea to quit your job overnight. I think most people kind of know that, but sometimes people do it and then they kind of regret it. So the best thing to do is whatever you're doing, stick with it. Maybe at a year, if years gone by, go down to part-time. And then whenever you feel like you can do it full-time, then that's when you quit your job entirely. One thing real quick I want to say for people, I don't think, all right, so for people who are in New Jersey, so for New Jersey, I'm just going to say New Jersey is a little difficult area for spiritual work. It's a little bit difficult. We don't have the biggest spiritual community ever. So you might want to think about relocating. I'm just kidding. You just want to maybe think about expanding yourself, making sure you're doing things, offering stuff by phone, doing stuff on the internet and stuff like that. Or maybe consider moving somewhere else if you want to do it full time. I'm just saying New Jersey is not the easiest area to be like, all right, I'm done. I'm quitting my day job. Unfortunately, it's just not the most spiritual place in the country. But there's pockets of us here and there. All right. Who's still here? Nicole is still here. All right. What happened to the Diana person? All right. Before I get into that, I want to talk about something. It's just some examples of me coming into alignment with my purpose and keeping it in mind and sticking with it. And I just want to tell you so that you can do the same thing for yourself. So, like I said, the Akashic Records helped me a big time. But also the other day, I sat down with a pen and paper. I literally did this a week ago, I think. It might not even been a week. I sat down with a piece of pen and paper, and I asked my spirit guides, what am I supposed to be doing? Who am I supposed to be serving? And I asked them to help me rewrite the content of my first page so that I make it very clear who I want to work with and who I'm meant to work with. And my pen just started writing. I just kept going and going and going. And now I know that I'm completely in alignment. So I know I talked about this before, but I just want to bring it up again. So I know that my purpose is healing and teaching. Somehow, whatever I do has to fall under that. It doesn't matter whether it's through my music, doesn't matter whether it's through my books, because I am going to start writing, doesn't matter if it's through my services or my classes. I'm supposed to be healing and teaching. All right, and then I said, who am I supposed to serve? And spiritual seekers and light workers. So for my services, it should be somebody who has at least just stepped foot into spirituality. So maybe they're just getting into the chakras. Maybe they know all about the chakras. They could have been doing it for 20 years. Maybe they're into it for a long time. It could be, beginners, whatever. As long as they are into spirituality. So people don't walk in and look at me like I have 3 heads, because sometimes that happens. I know I'm supposed to work with people who are on a spiritual path. Doesn't matter what it is. Mediumship, I know I'm still going to get occasionally people who may not be into it, and that's perfectly fine. But as a whole, I'm meant to serve spiritual seekers. So when I rewrote my content, my main page, and you guys can look at it later if you want, and you can see, I don't know if you saw what it said before. Somebody else had written that for me. But this is exactly what came out from my guides. But you'll see that it's totally different. So it says, if you're a spiritual seeker, and then I describe what a spiritual seeker is, so that when someone's reading it, they resonate. If they don't resonate, they walk away. If they resonate, they come to me, and we know we're a good match. And then the light worker who wants to be a spiritual practitioner. I know that when someone reads that, they know what my classes are about. If that's not what they're looking for, if they want, they want to learn massage or aromatherapy, they walk out, go somewhere else. And that's the way it has to be. I can't be an umbrella for everybody because it's not who I'm meant to serve. So I had to get really, really serious and really, really specific. Another thing, which is how this is taking place here, is I know that I am not meant to just serve New Jersey. I know that I am supposed to be putting myself out there into the world. I know that I'm supposed to be writing. I know that I'm supposed to be appearing in videos in front of people. This is another thing that I was shown. And this is how this came about. I don't even know where the idea came from. I'm like, actually, I was like, I'll tell you how. I used to have Spirit Guide MP3 as an opt-in on my website, which a lot of you guys have probably listened to. So I had the Spirit Guide, Meditation to Meet Your Master Spirit Guide MP3. And that was my opt-in so that people would, you know, they would be able to get a meditation to meet their spirit guide, and they would end up on my newsletter list, that whole, you know, business side of things. And also it would help them out a little bit to get to know their spirit guide. And if they're going to be a student, they already have a little bit of a primer before they come to class about their spirit guides. But what I found was that there's a lot of different people who wanted the Spirit Guide MP3 who were never, ever going to do anything else with me ever again. They probably wanted to, you know, maybe they were going to get a reading or something. I don't know what it was. Some people don't know what Spirit Guides are, and I think a lot of people were getting Spirit Guide MP3 and thinking it was going to be something about their loved ones. So I realized that that MP3 was not working. So I had asked, what am I supposed to do then? I mean, what should I have there that brings me the right people? And it was this workshop, actually. It was help other light workers find their life purpose. I'm like, okay, all right. And then somehow it became this. And I just was like, all right, I signed up for Learn It Live several years ago, and I never ended up doing anything with it. And it was like, it's all been momentum. Like, I feel like I haven't even, like, it's not even my ideas. They're just like slamming into my mind, and I'm just like reacting to them. I'm like, all right, it's like, put this up here. Okay. Change this over there. Okay. Start this class over here. Okay. And it's just, everything has just unfolded. And this is why I'm sharing this with you, because as soon as I got clear, I did the clearing, you know, I did my Akashic Record reading, and I got really clear on my purpose. Everything just started spiraling. And that's why I'm doing this for you. All right, so I don't want to keep rambling on. Hopefully you get the point. You know, I just went through my own, you know, complete revelation, and I'm sharing it with you now. And I really hope you're going to take some of this stuff with you and get clear on your purpose. There's one last thing that we're going to do before this ends. And this is actually kind of the main part. So hopefully, I mean, what is it, 8:43? So we'd be here till about 9. Hopefully you can all stick around. This is the part where we're going to do the, I guess you can call it a meditation, but we're actually going to do a shamanic journey. We're going to do a shamanic journey and do the Akashic Records. So I figured the way that helped me, let me try and share it with everybody else. I hope that it does help you. We're doing it a little differently than I normally would do it. But I thought we should do a shamanic journey instead of just saying the prayer, because you guys aren't trained in it. It's just, it's better to do it as a journey. So I'm going to do a shamanic journey, and this is in the Peruvian tradition. So the Peruvian version of a shamanic journey is called ensueño. And it's different. So there's different types of shamanic journey. You might have, maybe you did one before in, you know, some other, if you did my spirit guide meditation, actually. If you ever done my spirit guide meditation, the very beginning is very similar to a Native American shamanic journey. Native American shamanic journeys, usually they have you walk along a path, and you meet your animal, and then you go there, blah, 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 and then you start seeing a bunch of stuff. I actually originally was going to make it that, but I decided to do ensueño instead. I actually like it better. And it's also shorter, and I don't want to keep everybody up. So we're actually going to do the Peruvian version of Shamanic Journey. And you know what? And real quick, I just want to bring up, this is another example of evolution. So I went from psychic readings, angel readings, past life regression, all those things. I went and, you know, tried to do all those things. And now I found what I'm really meant to do is my shamanic healing and the Akashic Records. And there's, you know, the mediumship is still there, but I'm saying the stuff that everything's evolved into, the Shamanic Healing, the Akashic Records. And this might happen for you. So it's a journey. It's not a direct route. Be open to anything, anything you come across, things you feel drawn to, let it unfold, really. All right, so before I go on, I want to unmute people. Someone please talk to me. I feel like I've been talking for a really long time. I want to hear what somebody has to say about something, please. Please. Okay, I can hear you. Somebody please say something. All right. So does anybody have questions or anything? Did everyone catch all of that?
Yeah, I'm trying to get this on my phone so I can do the meditation on the earbuds. And I can't get it on my phone.
Okay, hold on a second. I don't know. I'm like talking with it muted. Kim, did you say you were trying to get it to work on your phone?
Yeah.
Well, what's not working?
I don't know. I've been watching you on the computer, so I don't know. It's I don't know.
I don't know if it works on
I'll get it.
If you have an iPhone, you have to download an app for it.
Is it the Adobe Spark page?
It's called like Puffin.
So anyway, is there anything that anybody wanted to say or ask about any of this stuff so far? Is what I'm saying to you making sense? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, Faye,
Oh.
I actually wanted to share with you that when you first did your YouTube video coming out with the Akashic Records and all that, and like everything you're saying now, it like resonated with me so clearly. And like hearing you say all this stuff, it's like more and more I just kind of feel okay, like I'm doing the right thing, like I'm not crazy, because
Right.
like I kind of like feel like I'm like with you, like people look at me like I have three heads, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, well, I guess I'm just a weirdo, and I'll just be out in the universe by myself for a while, and it's
Right.
just really assuring, and it's, synchronicity and coincidental and all that, but it's not coincidental,
Yeah, we really have to do what we want to be doing. And for me it wasn't even just everyday people or friends and family looking at me like I have three heads, but sometimes it was my own clients. Seriously. That's why I knew I need to deal with people who are on a deeper level than just your everyday kind of person. Because I definitely, we don't all have to agree on this, but I absolutely believe in past lives, and I think they very much affect us in this life. And when I would do a psychic reading, or even before when I was upon a soul reading, I would bring them up, and people would be like, they wouldn't really say anything negative, but I could tell they weren't really connecting with what I was saying. And I'm like, I can't work with people who aren't even understanding what I'm trying to say to them. Like I can't make myself be undeeper. You know what I'm saying? I can't make myself be less deep.
Exactly.
I don't want to pretend to be stupid or more shallow so that I can serve everybody. I have to work with spiritual people. So I had to get really clear and honest with myself, and just really get more into, I've always been pretty genuine, I think, but I needed to just be more honest with myself and not feel bad for being specific as to who I want to work with, which was a huge issue for me. And, you know, honestly, I just, you know, this just happened recently. So I actually, I have to say, since I changed psychic reading, even when I dropped the psychic reading and started calling it something else, I did notice that my readings did slow down because a lot of people want a psychic reading. And I would consider, should I just add it back? Should I just, no, do not add it back. You're not doing them. Do not add it back. So I have to, you know, we have to be real with ourselves too. But so anyway, I'm glad that it resonated with you. It really is an awesome time for me, and I'm really so excited about it. And it's new, and I gotta, you know, I know I gotta keep going, and I gotta just keep following all these different things I'm being told I need to do, that I know is coming from a very high place. And same thing for you. So, you know, once you pull these pieces of, you know, pull these pieces together, then you might also feel yourself.
Yeah, it's like you know, I own my own business. Like you said, you know, you might own your own business and love it and then want to do this. I love what I do and I don't want to stop it, but I know there's more for me. And it wasn't really making sense, kind of.
You know what? I'm only going to say this really fast, just while I'm thinking of it real quick. But I actually met somebody the other day, and this might be something for you to think about. But I actually met somebody the other day who only does metaphysical tattoos.
Huh.
And there's like, she kind of does like it's all like the way that it's placed is metaphysical, the way it's done. I don't really know how to explain. Like, I don't know all the details, but she specializes in spiritual and metaphysical tattoos. She calls it sacred tattoo work. So that could be something to think about. Oh, I'm sorry. I just told everybody we do.
Sorry. No worries.
It was just an idea I had. I know because you know, you love doing that, but I know you're into the metaphysical as well.
Yeah, it's like something else is drawing me elsewhere. Like, not that I'm not fulfilled, but I feel like there's something else for me, you know?
Right.
Like there's something missing that's going to make me whole, you know?
Right. Yeah, there's something else that you're supposed to be doing. So, you know, the tattoo is something you love. You know, something you're gifted and talented at. At some point, you might find in some way, somehow, it might tie into your spiritual work. I mean, the way this stuff comes together, it can, you know, seem like really crazy, but somehow it might actually tie into what you end up doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do both. You know, you have your one business, and then if you start you know, getting into your spiritual business, you might find that you break them up evenly. You know, I spend half of the week doing this, and I spend the other half doing that. You know, it's not like you have to abandon it. You know, same thing. If anybody else has their own business, you might like it, so maybe you hate it. You might like it or you hate it. But you know, you still get started in your spiritual work, and eventually you can either, you know, get rid of that, close that business down, or just, you know, do one half the time and one the other half of the time. You know, I know a lot of people hate their day jobs. I hated my day job. I don't want a day job. Some people love their day jobs. Might be an accountant. I love doing my accounting. You might be a nurse and you love being a nurse. So everybody's different. So anyway, is there anything else that anybody wanted to share or point out or ask a question about from everything that has been said so far? Nothing? Did we lose another person? I think someone just disappeared. All right. Oh. Kim, did you figure it out for your phone yet?
No, go right ahead. I'll just do it right here on the computer.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, there she is. Kelly, are you back? Kelly was gone. All right.
How long is
anything? If it's being recorded, you can watch it later. So if there's anything you missed, you can just watch it again later. All right. So
how long is the meditation?
honestly, I have no idea how long it's going to end up being. I don't think it should be too long. That's why I decided to do the Peruvian journey instead of the Native American. Otherwise, we have to be like, relax your head, relax your shoulders. You're walking down the path. Yeah, so we tried to not do that. Maybe 15 minutes.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Maybe 15 minutes. All right. So first, just make sure everybody is set up and comfortable. I'm going to mute everybody except for me. All right. So everyone just get relaxed and comfortable as much as possible. I ask Archangel Michael to surround us all with his protection through this journey. And I want you to visualize that you're surrounded in a large orange bubble of light. This bubble will protect you from any and all negative energy. You can see or feel roots coming from your feet as if you were a tree, going down into the ground, all the way down into the core of the earth. We ask Mother Gaia to keep us grounded through this journey. So while we're opening all our chakras, actually I'm on the wrong part, sorry. Okay, so whether you know them or not, doesn't matter. So if you know your spirit guides, that's great. If you don't, that's fine. Just silently ask your spirit guides to be with you through this journey. And to help you receive any information that is for your highest good. And also, before we go, just making sure that you do have a pen and paper nearby. Because we're actually going to be writing in the journey too. So now we'll open our energy centers. And when we do this, we're intending to open all of our chakras so that we're open to receive whatever information we need on this journey. If you've taken classes with me before, we're doing a different version of opening up. This is a faster version, and it's just a little bit different. So our intention is that we're going to open all of our chakras. We're opening our chakras so that we can be open to receive the information we're going to get from the records. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to actually focus on our 8th chakra, which is located about 6 inches above the head. This chakra connects you with the Akashic Records. It connects you with the astral and unseen realms. This really takes you into, what do you call it? Really out there, astral type consciousness. So the way we're going to open up, you don't have to have your eyes closed yet. So I want you to watch what I'm going to do and do it with me. So this is a way of opening sacred space. This actually comes from shaman traditions. So opening sacred space with your hands here. Remember I mentioned the 8th chakra, which is located above your crown chakra, about 6 inches above your head. So we're going to open up our chakras and our energy, but we're just going to do it this way instead. So bring your hands up like this, coming up. As we're coming up, we're opening this top 8th chakra. See? And now we've opened our energy. So now all of our chakras are open, our energy centers are open, our 8th chakra is open. So we're ready to receive information, go on our journey, and enter the records. So this journey will take you into the heart of your own Akashic Records. Upon entering, you will be in the presence of your record keepers. The record keepers are those who protect your records and those who have been assisting your soul in its journey. Before we go on the journey, I'll tell you what you might experience possibly when you enter your records. What you see, feel, or experience is different for everybody. Some people, when they enter their records, they feel like, it looks like they're in a library and they see a bunch of books. Other people, they might see one huge, gigantic book. Some people see no book because it's not necessarily a book. It's just the way some people see it. You might see something else, and some people don't see anything at all. For me personally, I don't really see anything when I enter my records. I just feel intense energy. I feel the presence of my record keepers, and I get a huge feeling that I'm aligned with the truth. So you don't need to have any expectations when we get into the records. Right now, we're setting the intention that when we open our records, we're shown anything we need to know related to our life's purpose. So now make sure you're in a relaxed and comfortable position. Sitting with your eyes closed now, and feet on the floor and hands on your thighs. We're just going to take 3 deep breaths, 3 deep, quick ones. So first, inhale, just deep, and exhale. Just feel that you're releasing stress and tension when you're exhaling. And then take a second one. And the third one. And now I want you to focus on your 8th chakra, located 6 inches above your head. You can see it as a glowing white with golden sparkles. See it begin to get larger and larger, filling up with divine white light. And as it gets larger and larger, it becomes more open and receptive to connecting with your Akashic Records. You see the white light from your 8th chakra begin to pour down through your head, through your crown, flushing down, flowing down, all the way down through your head and your face, into your neck and your throat, into your chest and your arms, into your stomach, into your hips, down to your legs, into your feet, all filled with the white light, going down, down to the earth, coming back up, flowing back up through the body, filling it again, going all the way up, back up to the 8th chakra. And then take 1 deep breath, and when you inhale, inhale the white light from the 8th chakra. And exhale it through your heart chakra. And then do it again. Inhale from the 8th chakra and exhale out of your heart chakra. And see your entire aura and your entire being filled with the white light. Now we'll prepare for the shamanic journey. Begin to focus intently on your third eye chakra, located between your eyebrows. For a moment, I want you to do a sample of leaving your body. So I want you to see yourself and feel yourself leaving your body and going into the nearest wall. Like you're in between the sides of the wall, you're inside the wall. Feel yourself inside the wall, looking outward at the room and outward at yourself. And now you can leave the wall, come back into your body. That's just preparation and getting ready for your shamanic journey into the Akashic Records. So again, begin focusing on your third eye chakra, located between your eyebrows. As you focus on your third eye chakra, begin to see a swirling vortex of light coming out of your third eye. This vortex of light spirals up and up and up, out into the universe, into the unseen realms. Begin following this vortex of light, leaving your body through the third eye chakra. Go into the vortex, allowing it to carry you safely, swirling and swirling in its loving, radiant, warm energy. Swirling through the vortex, leaving your body. You're now at the ends of the vortex. And the records are now open. You step outside of the vortex and find yourself inside of your Akashic Records. You can feel the loving presence of your record keepers. Take note of anything you see, hear, feel, or sense about the presence of your records. And you can now choose, I actually recommend, still staying as relaxed as possible, to get your pen and paper ready, to begin taking notes of any of the answers that we receive. Your eyes do not have to be closed when you're reading records. So now I want to have you ask your record keepers the following questions. Pay attention to all your senses. Trust anything that you get, no matter how crazy it sounds or looks. So you might see the answers, you might hear the answers, you might just feel them or sense them. I do recommend writing down what you're going to get with the following questions. So ask your record keepers and your guides, what is my main life purpose as a light worker? Please show me what I have come here to do. write down your answers. And then ask your record keepers and your spirit guides, your masters, who am I meant to serve? Then ask, what past lives may be affecting my ability to serve my purpose in this lifetime? You can also be specific if you want and say what past lives may be negatively affecting my ability to serve my purpose in this lifetime. And you can also ask, what false beliefs might I have that affect my ability to serve my purpose? What beliefs are not serving you? What beliefs are hindering you from aligning with your purpose? Now you can ask, what gifts and talents do I have from this lifetime and past lifetimes that positively contribute to my purpose? Now lastly, ask, what steps can I take to put my life purpose into action? So take a moment or two, finish writing down any information that's coming through. If you're finished writing, then you can put your pen down, close your eyes again. You can thank your record keepers for their love, wisdom, and guidance. The records are now closed. Now see yourself step out of the records and back into the vortex. Step back into the vortex of white light. See yourself coming back down through the vortex, swirling and swirling. Coming back into your third eye. Back into your body. Become aware of your physical body. You can move around a bit if you want. You open your eyes, and I'm going to show you how to close sacred space. So hands here again, like this. Now our intention is we're closing our sacred space, we're closing back down our energy. So bring your heart, you can't see me too well on here, but before our last time we went like this. This time we're going to bring our hands down this way and come up like we're closing it down. Okay, so like this. And we're closing everything back down. Okay. I just unmuted everyone. Hold on. Whenever I talk, I hear myself again and somebody else's. There has to be a way to stop that. All right. So is everybody okay? How did I end up on this page again? Does anybody want to share anything? Did you get anything? You can type it or say it. Did you find any information or clarity? Nobody got anything? Nothing? Or just nobody wants to share their stuff? Maybe nobody wants to share anything. When I did that meditation, whatever you want to call it, when I did that journey, hold on, turn this off. I got that I had well, I've had several past lives. One of the things I got was in a lot of the different lifetimes where I've done spiritual work, whether it was like healing or whatever, that somehow resulted in death. So it's been holding me back a lot in this lifetime. And then as I did more Akashic Record readings, I saw different lifetimes where I was killed and also ones where somehow my abilities caused somebody else to get killed. So I think that's something that has affected me a little bit, and also kept me from wanting to become more known or whatever. Nicole, you might be more, what do you call it? Clairsentient. So you probably get a lot of stuff through feeling. And when we were doing it, you might have been trying to listen for answers, maybe, possibly, and rather than feeling them. So you got information. You got information through your feelings. That's why you felt the sensations. Somehow, I don't know if I have the answer for you, but I think somehow it'll be helpful for you to learn how to translate the feelings and sensations that you get into information. Because that's your information, but that's you receive it through feeling. Knowing is more claircognizance, but I think maybe those two are like your strongest thing. Well, you know what is interesting? Here's something that's interesting, is that I noticed that in the Akashic Records, it tries to open up, sometimes it like, at least for me, I'm usually very clairvoyant. So I usually always see things. My second strongest is hearing. When I'm in the Akashic Records, I hear a lot. A lot of other like reading type stuff I do, I see. But for some reason in the Akashic Records, I hear a lot. So that might have been what happened to you when you were in the Akashic Records. Instead of knowing answers, you were getting a lot of the feeling. Yeah, I don't know why that happens, but it's good because it seems to open us up and actually open our other abilities more. Well, you can ask those questions again. You can download this. I don't know what it looks like for you guys, but there should be an option to download this thing. I'll also send an email with it, like a message to like in the inbox. Awesome. What did I get for my steps? I'm trying to remember what I got for my steps to take. You know what? The steps I got was this. Do this workshop. Now, the steps I got to take was that I need to expand myself online. That was the biggest thing I got. Expand yourself online. Okay, here it was like it got like just thrown right into doing it. All right. Anything? Anybody want to share anything else? All right, I guess not. So anyway, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm going to send, I'll email you this so you can read it later, or if you want to ask the questions again, or you know, just try asking. You don't necessarily have to do the Shamanic Journey and the Akashic Records. You know, you can just try, sit down and try again and ask, Spirit guides, please answer through me. Tell me what I'm supposed to be doing, who I'm supposed to be doing it with. Sometimes it takes people more than one try. This information I got, honestly, was over a course of a few different Akashic journeys I did. And also, one of them wasn't even a journey. It was like, all right, Spirit guides, who am I supposed to serve? And what am I supposed to be doing? And the answers just came. You know, so it might take a few tries. But in general, my main point of this are my 8 keys. So read over again the 8 keys. Read over again all my tips, and just keep them all in mind as you're going about. And just remember, it really is a journey. It's not a direct. I wish it was more direct. I wish you could have saved a lot of time and money and been, supposed to do Akashic record readings and shamanic healing. All right, skip all that stuff. It's just not always the way it works. There's a reason I know all that stuff, because it actually helps me in all my other work. So don't, if you find that you ended up taking the class, but that's not what you really end up doing, for some reason you still needed to know that. Because there's so much knowledge and information out there. There really is. It's crazy. It never ends. It's been 20 years. It's 21 years, 1997. I found all this stuff. It's 2018, and I think I might be halfway there. There's so much stuff out there to learn. There's just so much. There's so many topics, and it can get deeper and deeper and deeper. There's so many different modalities. You just want to find your unique place. We all have a unique place in doing spiritual work. We don't all have to be a psychic medium. We don't all have to be a Reiki master. We don't all have to be, you know what I mean? We all have a specific and unique role to play. And I still actually kind of struggle with that a little bit, where I'm like, I know I'm a psychic medium. I'm a medium. I'm keeping my mediumship. And part of me is like, I want to put myself out there as a psychic medium, do platform mediumship. I got invited to do platform mediumship for a school fundraiser of 35 to 40 people, and they're asking me what would I charge. And I'm like, this is a perfect opportunity to get out there and, get in front of people and, you know what I mean? And kind of spread the word about my business and make some extra money. And I haven't responded. I haven't responded. Because I know I'm not my forefront. I don't think as of right now, I'm not a forefront. I'm just known for being a medium. My forefront is I do healing and teaching for spiritual seekers and light workers. That's my forefront. I do mediumship as well, and they can all come to me for mediumship. So I don't know if that's something I want to do. It's just, you don't have to fit any mold, is what I'm saying. You're welcome. I'm really glad that this was helpful for people. You know, I had to learn a lot of this on my own. I didn't get any of this from a book. Nothing comes from a book. Nothing comes from a book. Nothing comes from someone else directly. This is all the stuff that I learned in the last few months, and honestly, I guess over the last 20 years too, but especially the last 5 years. The next steps, I'll go over this real quick. Spend the next few days letting the information from this workshop and any information you got in your journey to sink in and integrate with your consciousness. So you might have maybe feel like you didn't get anything during the meditation or journey, whatever you want to call it. But you might actually notice later that you got something. You know, it might come to you. Sometimes just by visiting the records and asking questions makes a difference. I swear it can. Just by visiting them and asking a question, it can totally shift. Because just because your conscious mind isn't necessarily knowing or hearing it, the subconscious mind does. So let all this integrate in the next couple days. You can read over these notes several times too. Make sure to ask your spirit guides and Archangel Michael to guide you to whatever it is you need to do to get started. Or if you're already started, whatever the next things are that you should do to get on, you know, to be on your path or get more in alignment with your purpose. Set your vision and make an action plan. So set your goal to move into your true purpose. What steps you can take to achieve it. And you can make a, you know, estimate when you want to achieve it by. But sometimes, you know, it's when the universe feels like it wants you to. But you can still make one for yourself to give you some, you know, motivation. And the last thing, let the journey unfold. There's ups and downs, ebbs and flows, uncertainties, and lots of evolution. But in the end, you will do what you came here to do. You will not fail yourself. It's not the way it works. We come into this body for a reason. We fill that reason. And we don't go until we fill that reason. Everyone's reason is different. It's not, you know, not everybody's, you know, meant to do metaphysical work, healing work, and spiritual, whatever. But for us, we're here for this reason. And it's our job to fulfill it. So in the end, we will get there. We will find our destination. I guess that's it. I don't want to keep anybody much longer because I could talk for hours and hours and hours about it. Before we go, like I said, I have nothing specific to sell to you, but I do want to announce a couple things. There's this class, obviously, that we just did. I have another class that on April 16th in the same place. It's for psychic and spiritual protection for empaths and light workers. Also, I'm going to be doing a live online class, not here, but actually on Zoom for psychic development. So if you're interested in developing your psychic abilities, it is a 4-week class, 2 hours each night on Wednesdays, and it starts in May. Towards the end of May, it goes into June. You'll see it on the website, genesisspiritualhealing.com. So that'll be live psychic development class. And you'll actually break up into pairs and get with partners and do practice readings and stuff. You'll have assignments to do right before you come back for the next week. On the website, I've actually integrated, if you're ever taking any classes on the old online school, I've integrated it into my main website, and they're actually going to be downloadable. As opposed to logging in and taking the class, you're going to be able to download it from the website onto your computer. It actually makes things much easier for me because that learning software, every time they update it, it breaks and somebody can't use it and I have to fix it. So it's easier to just download all the files on your computer. You never have to go on there again. If you haven't been to the website, check it out. There's some new stuff going on. I will also have some guided meditations that you can purchase that'll be up there on the online store. More classes that you can download. There will be more online classes coming up. Also, when we're finished this, if you could do me the biggest, hugest favor, Especially this is right now, this is the first class I'm doing on Learn It Live. When you're done, can you please figure out how to get in there and go on this class and leave a review? Please, I really, really would appreciate it. This website is actually really big, and there's a lot of people that come to this website to learn. I encourage you to look around this website too. There's a lot of different teachers, you know, learn from a lot of different sources. But if you could, please leave a review, so that way other awesome light workers find it and they want to take it, and you know, they see that you guys liked it and they're going to want to come in and take it too. So I do ask you to please, if you could, please leave a review right here on, not on Google, right here on the Learn It Live site on this class. My last favor, or suggestion, but no, it's a favor. If you could possibly please like my YouTube channel or subscribe to my YouTube channel. My Facebook is awesome. I have a great Facebook following. My YouTube channel suffers very much because I don't use it very much and I don't promote it very much. But I want to change that. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos on there too. You're probably going to be all over the place. So if you could, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That is also on my website. I'm going to send a message to you all and have the links to these too, just in case. I don't want to put the link in here. I guess you could probably click this right here. But I don't want that to take you out of this window. If you click that link, it might take this window right to my website. So anyway, I do encourage you, just check out the upcoming stuff on my website. Please leave a review on this workshop, and also please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you haven't liked me on Facebook, you can like me there too, but I'm really concerned. I would really like to start building my YouTube channel. And that's it. Thank you all very much for coming. I really enjoyed sharing this with you. I'm so happy that I finally have gotten into alignment with what I'm doing. Sound is gone. Is it back? Are you guys talking? Does somebody want to say something? Hold on. Is somebody trying to say something? I'm sorry. Is somebody trying to say something? Sorry. Was someone going to speak? I saw sound is gone. Viewers muted. You can still hear me, right? Okay. All right. I don't know what that was about. Okay. All right. So yeah. Anyway, I'm getting tired. I don't want to keep you guys up. I could be here all night. If anybody wants to hang out and chat, I'm going to turn off the class and stop recording. All right. Okay. So I'm going to turn off the class. Thank you. Thank you all for watching. Are you sure you want to stop recording the session?